Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us here today. I'm your host, Leah Masten for Top Industry Professionals, TIP International Radio Podcast, where we are here showcasing prestigious top professionals from all industries all over the globe to share their experience and stories of success. My amazing co-host is here with me, originally from Namibia. She was crowned Miss Universe in 1992. Everyone welcome Michelle McLean.
Hello, everyone. Leah, it's always good to
Hello.
see you. And Lincoln, you again. We had a lovely time in New York. Just want to say to all our listeners out there, all our professionals, we have you as our amazing interviewee today.
Thank you so much.
You've just, inspiring so many people. Originally, you're from St. Lucia, and then you resided in Canada. And I believe, we believe you're now living in Montana, and you just had a very long drive last night. So thank you for joining us. You've been an honored member of the International Association of Top Professionals for many, many years. And you've been selected and distinguished as a top Chief Financial Officer of the Year and of the decade. No. Oh my gosh, of the decade. You've also received the Lifetime Achievement Award, Business Innovator of the Year, and graced the front cover of TIP magazine. And you've been inducted into IAOTP's Hall of Fame. You're also talented in many, many different areas, and you've become a serial entrepreneur, co-founder of Glinks Group, CFO of Pasifino Gold Limited, VP Finance and Controller of Energy Group, and Hub Day Minerals. Everyone, please welcome our very own Mr. Lincoln Greenidge. You are amazing.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you, Leah. I appreciate. I'm thinking, who did you actually introduce? This is not me. It's someone else. But it's thank you so much. I appreciate this time here, and hopefully we can make it meaningful for everyone, and people will get something out of it that they otherwise would not have.
Well, you know what, Lincoln, meeting you in person is one thing, and your inspirational group of people around you that you always attract. You have an impressive repertoire of many different roles. So over the 3 decades, right, you have 7 different industries. Now, you're almost like an Elon Musk, right? I'm from South Africa, so I'm very, But I would have to say, so tell us about your journey. You are involved in the banking industry, audit, technology, finance world. Tell us a little bit about how you started in this industry.
Well, listen, I'll tell you, I'll try and be quick because 7 industries, there's so much to talk about, but at the end of the day, there are 2 things that are important. Is that I think we are all given gifts and talents. I believe that it's my core, and mine is numbers and finance. But it goes beyond the numbers. The numbers have to mean something, and I took it on quite easily. And I have what I've tried to do is to show people that it doesn't matter what industry you're in. There's usually a need that's being met. Inputs and outputs. The output ultimately for investors has to be a return on their investment. And how do you do that to make sure you do that where you can sleep well at night? I think there's a beauty in it. And in the past 15 years, I've been in mining, and I know there's the good and the bad, like in every industry that that there is on earth. If you look for the good, you'll find it. If you look for the bad, you'll also find it. I started off, of course, in St. Lucia and worked at a bank, and I moved to Canada 33 years ago, to Ottawa, Canada. Worked for Coopers & Lybrand, which is an audit firm, and it was a very I traveled a lot. I worked for Nortel Networks, which was the largest company in Canada at that time, which is the high tech. And did a lot of things that have brought me to where I am, which is now building teams and hopefully inspiring others to actually be better. Because it's a shame when people live a life where they just go to work just to, to go do a job rather than to fulfill their purpose. So we can have a conversation about that. But that's where I am right now. Is that I'm in Montana, in a town called White Sulphur Springs. It's where they're planning to build a copper mine, the first big copper mine in Montana. And with all the hurdles and so forth, I know it's going to happen, and it's going to be one that you could look at and show how you can mine sustainably, and it's underground, so it's not, and then the environment can still be maintained in the way that it should be for everyone to live.
Lincoln, you had, go ahead, Michelle.
Go ahead, Leah.
Oh, I was just going to say, you have so much experience in so many different areas. What would be some advice that you would give to someone starting out in the industry?
So, well, it depends which industry, but it doesn't matter. And I'm glad you asked that question. You said the industry, because the industry really, in my opinion, is the industry of finance. Looking at not only the past, the numbers and the results, but also looking to the future. And like people say, is that if you don't learn from the past, you're likely to repeat it. My advice, and I know this may seem odd, but no matter who I would advise, is that always do something that you're passionate about. Always ask questions. If you're passionate about something, you want to learn. You want to remove the ignorance that's within you, because all of us have ignorant about something, and no one knows everything about everything. My advice is to always question and always be passionate. So if you're not passionate about it, you should go look for a different industry.
So my original question, Lincoln, is, okay, how did you start out? Because there's so many people that are just like, how do you get to where you are right now? And what were your biggest obstacles?
So, okay, so number one, how did I start out? Passion for numbers. So that's easy. So then my passion for numbers led me to actually work at an audit firm, right? Before I actually worked at a bank, and it was numbers. I remember having to reconcile numbers, 500 ledgers on a daily basis before the close, right? So that was it. So how did I start?
So it's not like glamorous. It is like start out. This is where you.
No, actually, it's glamorous for me. I hate. So when I tell you, I know it seems odd, because most people, when they hear about finance, they think that's boring. And I say, well, but even if your businesses, right, Michelle, you have a lot of different types of organizations and so forth. But in order for them to be sustained, there's a monetary aspect. People have to spend money wisely. They need to know how to get funding. There's a beauty to that, because ultimately the beauty for me is, what is the result? Why are you doing what you're doing? And I know people are like, what? But the numbers speak something to me that most people see. I'm not a traditional accountant, right? Accountant is just their thing in numbers. I actually go beyond the numbers, because numbers mean something. They tell a story. And I know it's glamorous to me, because you know what was glamorous? I have worked in Australia, South Africa, Mali, Ghana, Botswana, Argentina, Chile, Mexico, Brazil, right? I worked in Colorado in a place called Rifle, Flin Flon, Manitoba. I'm just saying, these people don't think it's glamorous, but traveling to these places opens your mind. Singapore, Sri Lanka, opens your minds to the possibilities and the fact that everything that people do on this earth, there is meaning beyond it. Companies who actually provide services on a global scale, the numbers mean something, and they go beyond. People are the ones who actually spend money. People are the ones who actually buy products, and companies make money. So no, it's glamorous to me. I enjoy it. And I know when I tell people do something you're passionate about, to me, if you're passionate about something, it'll be glamorous in itself, at least for me. And I know it seems odd, but it is.
You are selling up the financial industry so much. I mean, it just goes right over my head.
Yeah, well, many people in finance they listen to me and think, glamour? What glamour? But it's about perspective. It's about how you see the world. And if you see the world in a positive way, you see what you do in a positive way, you see it not just as a job, not as a beyond a career, then your light will shine and you will want, and other people want to actually join you on that journey. Unfortunately, most people are not like that. Finance professionals are not like that. But I'm not concerned about everyone else that's not like that. I'm concerned about what I have to contribute to society and everyone around me. And that's basically what I'm doing, which is to share that love and that passion for what I'm doing. So.
Well, you can definitely see the passion you have for numbers. You just light up.
I know. I know you ladies are still thinking, what? Only you, Lincoln, only you can have passion. I mean, my sister says the same thing, right? And you know, Nicole, she says, and you know, the way she says it, only you can have the passion for numbers. Because my tax accountant doesn't have that passion. He just does my tax and he leaves.
Lincoln, that's your superpower.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no. And we all have superpowers, exactly. And it's to ensure that we all raise that bar. And because the world would be much better if most people recognize the power from within.
Well, speaking of glamour, you know, you have had quite an illustrious career. You've won numerous awards and have been recognized on an international level. You have graced the front cover of Tip magazine, was just recently featured on the famous Reuters billboard in Times Square. And you were honored at IAOTP's annual gala at the Plaza Hotel for being selected as CFO of the Decade and being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations. What would you say has been the highlight of your career or the most memorable experience that you've had to date?
You know, that's a difficult question because most people will have some experience, and I've had many. But I think, you know, the highlight for me is really my children. You know, my son, who, you know, was diagnosed with cancer at, when he was 21 months, called bilateral retinoblastoma, and he's now 14 years old. That's a highlight for me because he's the most intelligent person that I know. You know, parents, they tell their children, oh, you should do this, you should do that. No, that's incorrect. Well, my son has never been wrong. He's smart as ever. I thought I was good, but he's beyond me, and I cherish that. And my daughter, who has such a lovely voice, when I listen to her, it reminds me of, you know, why I'm doing what I'm doing, you know, because I want to live a better place for them. I want to leave a legacy that I can be proud of, and that they can say, yes, you know, my dad was passionate about what he did, and he understood his purpose. And to me, that is the most memorable. I mean, I could talk about certain things I've done, you know, cannibals in South America, but I don't think that's as exciting as seeing my children sort of grow up to who they are today.
But isn't that amazing, Lincoln? So you, you know, this legacy that we leave behind, and it's wonderful. Whether we have our own children or we are guardians of other children, exactly. It is just the most precious gift. Besides this blessing, I mean, you're obviously a passionate father, but you're also an author, yes. And you know, you write a lot of articles. What would you say? Yeah, what is you know, passion for you in terms of your work and going forward? Absolutely.
So, you know, I've done quite a bit, but you know, when my dad passed away in 2014, it gave me a bit of sense to step back and assess my purpose. And what gives me you know, the will to continue is that I've seen many people in finance who just do the bare minimum, and you know, universities and schools have not taught them to actually look beyond and step away and understand, if they're doing something for you, Michelle, understand why you're doing what you're doing, so that they can actually better provide you with great advice rather than just tell you, well, here's the debit, here's the credit, here's your set of statements, and here's your tax return. That in itself, anyone can do that. Going beyond that. So if I can do that for one person and I continue, and I have, so that's good. If I can continue doing that for others, where they can actually provide that value, they can actually go beyond the numbers, I would have fulfilled. And doing so with a passion and understanding that their purpose in life is to serve and is to do so with a inner joy, that if they were not in need of any money, that they would still do what they're doing. That is what I would like people to do. And if I can do that, then I would live. I would be fine. I know it's odd because it's something I know most people you will like, what? But it is. That is that is what I would like to live in terms of legacy and with all the things that I've been doing. So this is the journey that I'm taking now, and it's one that I need to be focused on doing, and even more here in White Silver Springs.
So, you're a serial entrepreneur and you've got so many irons in the fire. What's next for you? What do you hope to accomplish in the next 5 years?
So, as I said to Michelle, one of the things I want to do is to establish I want to build an app actually that does a better job at screening candidates, because it's easy for someone to get a resume and the resume says, yes, they have a PhD or they have a CPA, they've done tax, they've done this, they've done that, they work for this company and that company. It's easy to have a resume, but I have seen many great resumes, but the people are nowhere close to what you expected. I would love if in the next 5 years for me to build that service, if you will, that will be able to screen, and even recruiting companies, they screen people, but a lot of them they basically just do it because they need the commission, so they do it quickly without really understanding the true need and understanding what the candidates have, not only have the right skills but also are the right fit. And so I'm excited about, and hopefully I can share that with you guys in December at the Bellagio. It would be great for me to actually share that with you then. I don't know, we'll cross our fingers because I really want to do it right, but I don't want to spend years doing it. But the 5 years sort of starts now, where I want to see that happen. And I want to see where we can match employers with employees, but having the right fit in terms of skills, attitudes, values, and work ethic. And to me, I believe that there's a way to do that because I've interviewed many people, recruited many people in the past, and I've seen some of the flaws in just recruiting by having a half an hour conversation.
That makes me laugh because I think of it as a financial serial dating app, right? Need to vet everybody, okay? I'm
glad that you thought so, because now you said that, I'm going to share with you what the name is, and then I'm also going to tell you what it is. It's called Role Matchers, and it was a mix between a dating app and a recruiting app.
Fantastic! I tell you why, because it creates such a like a vibe and impression, because people want to be on and they want to be seen.
Yes,
you've got to vet them.
I'm going to vet them, and that's how I'm going to vet them through that app. So it's going to spend some time doing that, but that is it. And I'm glad that you got it, which means that I'm thinking I'm doing my job in articulating what is it that I'm trying to do. Wow, this. Yes, well, exactly. Well, I told the person who was doing the website that I want something between Tinder or.
Did you really? I thought I was going to absolutely speak out of turn here saying a dating app, because everyone goes, oh no, it's not like, I don't want to be seen to be doing that, but it really is so important for us.
No, I'm telling you. No, because listen, you spend 8 hours working with people. it's not just about having, you have to have the right attitude. How many people don't like their bosses because they're, how many people, okay.
Exactly.
There you go.
Just don't connect.
Yeah.
There's have to be a connection beyond the, yeah, okay, you understand.
Yeah. I have to ask, did you swipe right on it? If it's a yes.
Well, and so there's a swipe.
Okay.
So is it left
we still
or right?
working
I
with
like
that.
you, I don't like you.
Can you
Exactly.
super like somebody?
Exactly. So apparently it's easy to do because it's done.
Yeah.
So the swiping is 100%, but it has to come after the test. There's a test that, you know, to know whether people are full of it or not, because it's easy to say you know something and you don't. So
You know what? I'm so excited for us, for you, for IAOTP, because
Thank
this
you.
is so incredible for our group as well as professionals.
Yes.
You know, we can really rely on that kind of information. This is what takes us forward as a group.
No, absolutely. And I don't do as good a job as keeping in contact, and you know, and I know this every day I see messages and so forth, texts, but and social media is new to me. When it's still new to me even to this day.
It's
But
okay for us too. Don't worry, it's overwhelming.
But I have to figure out a way to actually do it, because it's the now and it's the future. So it's not going away. And the way to do that is to get people who use those the devices and these apps to do it in such a meaningful way. And I think it will benefit both. That's hence the dating part. It benefits both parties, right? Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Well, Lincoln, real quick before we close with you, every time I see one of your emails come through, I love your quote at the end of your signature where it says, I grumbled when I had no shoes, and then I met a man who had no feet. And I just wanted to know about how the practice of gratitude has impacted your life and your journey.
Well, many people don't know about my dad. My dad was a guy who really lived his purpose. He lived a life to serve. He was not a one who liked to accumulate wealth and see others without. So he basically gave up everything. You know, one day he came home. When I came home and I saw a pair of my shoes were missing, and then he said, "Well," I asked him, "Well, you know, where are my shoes, Daddy?" And he says, "Well, I saw a guy on the street that had no shoes, and you know, haven't used those shoes in a while, so I gave it to him." But gratitude for me, yeah, I know. Can you imagine? But for me, you know, I'm nowhere close to my dad, but I have found that, you know, when I say it's better to give than to receive, I find that by giving of your time, you know, whether finances or time or the like, I get so much more in return, financially as well as otherwise. It's just, it's the energy that you give, you do receive back in insurmountable ways that I can't begin to tell you how. So as a result, why not continue to do it? You know, it seems to be working.
It's that law of attraction in the universe. What you project, you put out, you will get back.
Yes, 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 and yes.
Well, Lincoln, we've had so much fun chatting to you. We could chat to you for all day, all week long. Leah and I would just love to express how appreciative we are of your time. How do people get hold of you?
Well, I'll give you my email address, which is L Greenidge, so LGREENIDGE at dlinks, so that's DLINKS.ca. And my phone number, I have no problem if people call me, 416-451-0049. And
that's not for dating, guys. That's not for dating.
Not for dating, but don't worry. When the app is up, we will actually get people all centered and directed to the right place, because again, I'm very new to social media. But I welcome everyone who is willing to take the next step in their journey of providing value beyond the numbers, beyond what they do. Because for me, it's not just about numbers, it's about everything you do. So my life is not just numbers, it's about seeing people succeed where they never thought they could, because they've realized that the power from within is so powerful. So thank you, ladies. I love you so much for what you do always. And, God's blessings to you and your families.
Thank you so much, Lincoln. It's a total pleasure. You're such an inspiration.
Thank you so much.
Right
Leah.
back at you. Love and blessings to you and your family.
Love it to you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
I want to see you in Namibia.
Yeah, I know. I gotta do it. I have to do it. Absolutely. No, we have to make it happen. And you know what? Nicole will be here there.
I know.
She doesn't know that yet.
Work.
She will be there. Okay.
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.